Hi, welcome to the Eyes on Film podcast, a podcast for seasoned cinephiles and budding film buffs alike. I'm Bubba.
And I'm Bella. We are lifelong movie lovers, so we thought we'd share some of our wisdom and insanity with all of you. So grab a comfy blanket, a snack, a furry friend, get cozy, and enjoy the show.
Excellent. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's really good to see you.
You too.
Yeah.
We haven't recorded in a little while, so it's really nice to be back to it.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think we both are. But,
Yeah.
Life gets in the way, and we got to do stuff other than this, unfortunately. But
yeah, so stupid.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, still no, but this is fun. We've been having a good time. I'm, again to all of our viewer.
Who's my mom? I'm pretty sure my mom is our only viewer right now.
That might be it. I'm working through some of the technical difficulties and stuff like that here. I'm learning all new editing stuff and whatever. So again, please bear with us. We're getting there. It's going to get good, I promise. So at least the content, I hope, is acceptable. And if not, I'm sorry, but we're having fun anyway. So we're going to keep doing it.
Content is great, except for the fact that I can see your face.
Listen, not everything's perfect. You know what? I've been researching. I could probably do one of those AI faces.
Oh, that'd be great. Can you do that in real life too?
I don't think so. Yeah. We'll work on it. We'll see. We'll see how far AI comes in the next month or two. So, but yeah. So this is great. What are we doing today?
Today we are doing our favorite horror movies, Bubba's and mine. I think we have more than 5 each, but
Oh, by far.
well, let me count.
I think I have 6 on one.
Well, we have 6 on both of our lists, but we're gonna count one of them as an honorable mention because it's on both of our lists, and we've already done a deep dive on it. So
okay, so that'll be our honorable mention.
Mhm.
Yes, the one beginning with S.
Alphabetically, yeah.
Alphabetically beginning with
or numerically.
Numerically, okay. Sure. And these are not like the definitive top 5s. These are just top 5, like that's like first pop into our heads. These are generally movies that we were like we just really like and are really just great horror movies in their own right.
These are just our favorites, and I think we have pretty good movie taste. So,
Absolutely. At least I do.
Well, if I have bad movie taste, it's your fault.
That's true, and I will take responsibility for that.
No, you won't. You'll blame it on Harley.
No, I'll blame it on somebody else.
Anybody
else.
Harley is my parents' pet bulldog. She's great, but she gets blamed for everything.
I'll throw up a picture.
Yeah.
Now.
Aww.
I hope it was a funny one. But...
Me too.
Yeah.
It probably is.
So
if it's Harley, it probably is.
It's either funny or cute.
Exactly.
So we're gonna start, and it really isn't in order, but we're just gonna kind of.
Yeah, this isn't the order of our favorite movies. We both have a really hard time doing that. So these are just the 5 horror movies that popped into our heads in no specific order.
Okay, so what is so we'll start at what we'll call number 5. And I'm kind of going from the bottom of my list up.
You're going from the bottom of your list up. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we'll start with Midsummer for me. Yeah. So Midsummer, directed by Ari Aster, starring Florence Pugh. It was released in 2019. It's culty.
Yeah, there's a lot of cult flavor to it, which, and I personally am fascinated with cults.
You don't get to keep all of the interests.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so we love cults. We're fascinated by them, just by the human nature of it and all that stuff. But maybe, actually, we should do an episode about cult movies.
Ooh, that would be great. Really
Yeah,
good.
good
Yeah.
movies about cults or
Yeah.
interesting things to watch about cults, like
Yeah,
documentaries,
for
etc.
sure. No, we
Like
should do
that'll
some
be cool.
documentary stuff too, because there's some really great documentaries out there.
Oh, absolutely. Um, Tell me why Midsummer made your list.
I was really impressed with the acting, and it was one of the first horror movies that came out post 2005 that I was really into.
Yeah,
It also takes place mostly in the light. So it's not a horror movie where, it's in the dark, it's scary, it's in the light, everything is plain to see, but it was still really effective and skeeved me out. It actually scared me. So when a horror movie actually scares me, I become fascinated by it because I'm not easily scared by movies that much anymore.
yeah. I actually love the fact that it takes place mostly in the light. I think that for me, that's something that if you can do that in a horror movie, it shows who you are as a filmmaker, and it doesn't rely on what is usually called a device, which is a jump scare or something like that. It really it's showing you everything that's going on. So if you're making that movie right, having it done in the light really makes it work. And I thought Midsummer was fantastic. I thought that was a great movie. I was gonna try and watch it today, but I was too busy doing other stuff to be able to sit down and watch it. And I just didn't want to have it going in the background because it's a movie I like to pay attention to.
It's definitely a movie that you have to sit down and watch,
Yes,
which I think is really cool. And we saw it in theaters actually, which was
we
great.
did.
It was terrifying, but it was awesome. And I believe it was Florence Pugh's breakout role. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was the first movie where I identified her as an actress. And I mean, she may have been in stuff before, but like I really noticed her as an actress in that movie.
She's great. I
Yeah.
Everything I've seen her in, I think she's been awesome. She's a really impressive actress. She's got a lot of range. She really commits to the bit, so to
Yeah.
speak. She's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to give too much away on this movie. I mean, honestly, this is a deep dive movie I would love to talk about in depth.
That's
I,
Harley in the background for you guys.
oh, oh yeah. Hold on. Let's see if we can get her. Hi, Harley. Oh, you okay?
Oh, she's such a
Yeah.
good girl.
I think she
Harley
wants to come over.
Oh,
Yeah.
Harley just had her 8th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Harley.
Happy birthday, Stinky Monkey.
Happy birthday. You're
She's
such a good girl. So a deep dive on Midsummer is definitely in the future. 100%.
100%. The intricacies in that and details to talk about,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited.
Yeah. Fantastic. Great choice.
Thank you.
My fifth or from the bottom of my list is, oh, she's coming over.
Oh.
All right. Hold on. There we go. All right. Well, we don't mind the company. But so I'll be just petting Harley. So I hope you guys don't mind. Anyway, so yeah, at the bottom of my list, or the number five, I'm going to say American Werewolf in London,
Mm.
a classic. 1981. It was directed by John Landis, who is a great director. He did an amazing job. It was like the first modern take on a werewolf movie, and I don't know, probably since like the 50s or 60s that actually really did well.
And then mess everything up.
Yes, absolutely. It stars David Naughton, and he's actually been a pretty big actor. It's like he's been in a lot of movies. He's had a very strong acting career. So, but this I think was his breakout role. And this movie, when it came out, it was really touted for its special effects stuff, especially the werewolf. I can give that away. There's a werewolf in the movie, so especially the
And it
werewolf
takes place in
transformation.
London.
And he's American. I know, right?
That's crazy.
Crazy. But the special effects were revolutionary at the time, and you know the change into the werewolf is just spectacular. And people were over the moon about it. And it's just a good movie too. It's just interesting, and there's a love story, which is nice because in the end, it's just a love
It's just
story.
a love story.
So, yeah, it's well acted. The photography is fantastic. There's a little bit like crazy over the edge stuff, like some fever dream kind of stuff, which is really fun to watch. But just a great movie. Well done, well acted. Everything. It's a little dated now, I have to say. If you watch it today, it looks a little dated. The special effects have improved a lot since then, but I don't think any of the special effects you see today would have happened without those creature effects and practical effects. It really changed the way they're done for a lot of movies. So I think seeing that, you're going to see a lot of like cool stuff in more modern movies or movies made after that kind of owe their goodness to American Werewolf in London. So yeah.
That's
Anyway, so
awesome.
it's just one of my favorites.
Yeah, I remember you showing me this movie, and initially I thought it was a comedy because it's really funny.
Oh yeah, there's
And
a lot of comedy in it. Yeah.
yeah, so it was one of those movies where I knew it was a horror, but it kinda gave similar vibes to oh my god, what's it called? With Sean Pegg, Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
like Shaun of the Dead.
much darker.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
takes itself a little more seriously, but the
yeah,
humor in that aspect was really cool.
yeah. There's a lot of tongue in cheek kind of stuff that goes in there, and it's
I
yeah.
love
I think that's a really good equivalency.
oh, cool.
Yeah, Shaun of the. I mean, two different genres of horror, but yeah, I think the manner and tone in which it's presented are very similar. There's dark humor in it. Really cool in that respect. So yeah, definitely worth a look. They're definitely kind of a fun story and historic as far as horror movies go. So yeah, great choice by me. I pat
Golf
myself on the
clap.
back. Yeah. All right, you're number 4. What
My
would
num
your number 4 be?
Silence of the Lambs. I think I only got this on
So
my
great.
list because you finished yours before I finished mine, and it didn't quite make it in your head.
It almost yeah, it kind of normally would. It very well could be in my top 5 list. I literally was just rattling off first 5 that came to mind, and depending upon what I ate for breakfast, Silence of the Lambs could have made it. Like,
Some
yeah,
fava beans with a nice Chianti.
Chianti, absolutely. Anybody we would recognize in this movie as well?
Yeah, so Silence of the Lambs, it stars Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, and Ted Levine, but those are
Levine?
the I don't know, man.
Let's leave it at Levine.
Okay, is that bad?
Pretty sure it's Ted Levine, but we'll
Look,
we'll leave it there.
I just read this stuff.
As you should. I think it's fine. And you could say the year it was made backwards too.
Oh, it is, it's a palindrome,
It's a
1991.
palindromic date.
And then
Nice.
I'm gonna say it backwards now, ready?
Yeah.
1991.
Oh, that's so crazy. How does that
I
work?
know, I know. So silly. Uh,
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, and Ted Levine. Um,
Levine.
Levine? Just a quick story because this relates. For the longest time, I thought that Mick Jagger's name was Mick Jagger, like
One
his
word.
first name.
McJagger.
So I texted my
Like
parents,
McDonald's.
yes. So I texted my parents asking because I didn't know what his last name was, and it was
Yeah.
relevant for whatever I was doing. So I typed it out, Mick Jagger, spelled like McDonald's, and so yeah, I think I was like 13 before I figured out that his name
You
was
were
Mick
13 or
space
20, I can't
Jagger.
remember.
So rude. Yeah.
So Ted Levine, either way.
Levine?
Tell me about Silence of the Lambs.
Right. So the FBI hires a deranged psychiatrist to find someone.
Mm.
The FBI.
Yeah. So yeah, a movie about a serial killer. FBI uses a convicted serial killer to help find
Another
another
serial
serial
killer.
killer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Excellent movie. Anthony Hopkins,
fantastic.
legendary performance. Jodie Foster, legendary performance. Ted Levine, like
Buffalo Bill.
oh Buffalo Bill, that's right.
Correct me on the pronunciation of his name, but you don't even know who his character was. God.
That's right. Well, you know,
Can't win 'em all.
no,
No,
can't win most of them.
no.
Can't win. Period.
He's great.
So good. I'd be surprised if you haven't seen this movie.
As would I. We
Yeah,
don't wanna exclude anyone.
but all of these movies that we're talking about here are we are going to do a deep dive into them. We are going to talk about them at length and analyze them. Talk to you as about why we think they're good, not just say that they're good and just leave it at that. Like there's reasons behind it, and it's not just because so they say it's a good movie, it must be good. So no, we talk about it, we analyze it,
And that's
and
part of why we started this channel is because whenever I looked up movies or recommendations, it was always just, "This is good because it has good ratings on Rotten Tomato."
right,
And that always frustrated me. I wanted to know why something was good, why it was worth watching. So, Bubba and I just decided to make that. I promise you, we have reasons. We have thought about and talked about all of these movies extensively. So,
extensively,
we're not just taking these off of some list. We think about these.
absolutely.
All right, you're
Um,
number 4.
so my number four.
I'm
Let's
so mad
see.
you got this one and I didn't,
Well, I think I was just talking faster than you.
because I was typing your answers.
Yeah, there you go.
I was being nice,
Uh,
and you took
uh,
that.
I'm so sorry. Uh, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Wow. 1992, directed by the amazing Francis Ford Coppola, starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins, another Anthony Hopkins movie. And there are actually many other actors in there, but this is just sort of the top billing, the central people in the movie. But wow, what a great film. Um, people say a lot of people say it's like over the top kind of stuff. And yeah, I would agree that it is, but that's intentional and it's done in an amazing way. It's perfect partly because of its flaws, and it's perfect despite the flaws. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion.
Should I give them
I
a
I'm glad you stopped me because I
Yeah,
end
I
up
could tell you were
I'll
gonna
end up
yeah.
going right off the edge into the deep dive. I'm at the high dive board with my toes curled over the edge, ready just to go. So thank you for
Just
stopping me.
just Bram Stoker's Dracula is the story of Dracula. It's basically a lawyer goes to Transylvania, nefarious activities happen.
Right.
No, but a lawyer goes to a mysterious count in Eastern Europe who wants him to buy properties around London, and he ends up getting kidnapped by the mysterious count, leaving his fiancée back in London worrying about him. Kind of
Is the most toned down description ever. That
I'm
is
trying not
perfect.
to
Well done. I you guys just have to trust us on these movies. These are great. And we really like we desperately don't want to give you the plot. We want you to go into these movies with very fresh eyes and watch them. And honestly, if you're watching this and you have watched them and you've made a judgment one way or the other, don't leave your judgment and cement. Like, come back, hear what we have to say about them, why, and our justifications for them. Because there are people who I watch this movie with, and they're like, "Yeah." When you start talking about the movie and why it's good, it may change your mind a little bit, give you other things to think about, um, and change your references to how you view it. But I will say there are fewer people who've seen this movie and don't like it than do. So the majority of people who see this movie like this movie.
I don't know, I haven't honestly met a lot of people who like this movie.
Really?
I think it's one of the most misunderstood movies currently. I don't wanna say
Wow.
more because then I'll
Maybe it might be a generational thing.
I feel like
Um,
it might.
yeah, which is also why I love this podcast, is because we are here to cross those generational gaps and find that middle ground and that understanding of why maybe we find something good and you guys don't, or vice versa. And we can learn to appreciate each other's tastes maybe a little bit more. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's again one of the reasons why I love this. So I'm glad we can have these talks and conversations. So
Me too, it
yeah,
makes me really happy, and I love the idea that we're just talking about movies because we love them and not I don't know. I
there's no ulterior motive.
it's just very wholesome,
Yeah,
and
it's
I feel
just
like
for the love of film and movies, and that's it.
yeah.
And it's a great, I think, generationally between generations and stuff like that. I think it's one of the nicer things we can talk about, uh, and a way we can find more common ground. And I think through discussion, finding common ground is like one of the most important things we can do. So yeah, that's why I love doing this. So thank you.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
love that we get to do this together. It
yeah,
makes
me
me
too.
unbelievably happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, so Bram Stoker's Dracula, like Bubba said, go into it with fresh eyes, clean slate. Even if you've seen it before, try to watch it like you've never seen it before. If you really like the book, try to not think about it in comparison to the book.
yeah,
Just try and appreciate it for what it is. And we will definitely do a deep dive on this. And I will be talking
yeah.
about the book a little bit and the differences and why I think the differences are important and honestly make the movie better than the book. Did I say that?
It's another for another one of our lists where the movie's better than the book.
Absolutely.
So
All
keep an eye
right.
out for that at some point.
Number 3, it's my turn.
Okay.
So, number 3 on my list is Get Out. Again, one of
Mm,
the few modern horror movies that I really thoroughly enjoy. It was directed by Jordan Peele, starring Daniel Kaluuya. Someone could
yeah,
about the phonetic pronunciation or anything, or I can
yeah,
just watch an interview and find out, but
yeah.
and it was released in 2017. This oh, let me give you the premise. Guy and his girlfriend go to his girlfriend's parents' house, and they're racist.
They
Yeah, yeah, they overcorrect quite a bit.
they overcorrect. Yes. It's a movie about overcorrection. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful movie made by Jordan Peele. Who's turned into kind of one of the new master of horror. I think he's definitely leading the way now for new horror and coming up with some of the best quality horror stuff lately. And really have a lot of respect for Jordan Peele. So excellent movie, great atmosphere. Again, it's like hitting, all of checking all the boxes all the way through. So excellent, excellent suggestion.
Thank you.
really.
I made an
So
effort in this video to put some more modern movies because on our last video, we only had one movie that was post 2000s. I'm a little wary of modern movies.
yeah, you haven't had such great experience with more modern movies.
Exactly. I really feel that, and this isn't saying that any movie made after 2000 is bad just because it was made after
Yeah,
2000, but I think CGI has taken away a lot of the creativity and freedom of expression because it is so limited in so many ways. So I think when CGI was really coming into its own, people were so focused on how cool the technology was and kind of forgot about story and depth,
yeah,
which is a huge, huge thing for me. I think nuance, acting, costumes, I think everything in front of the screen is massively important, and I really feel like CGI has just kind of lowered our standards in so many ways. So that's my reasoning for going into modern movies with a little less confidence, but I did
yeah,
wanna point these out because they are fantastic, and
yeah,
I do think there are many modern movies that are great. It's just they have to be well crafted. Yeah.
yeah. And I think Get Out is very story driven, and it's the script is excellent, and I think a lot of the script and how it's shot and all that stuff really helped make that movie great.
I also think the character development was really well done. The socio-political criticisms that come up, they're not,
Yeah,
I mean, they're very present, but it's not one of those movies where it's just saying the same thing over and over again. It's
yeah,
taking a real and massive problem and kind of showing you things that could happen or the energy that it brings.
yeah.
It's really
And
well done.
it also turns a lot of stuff on its head. Like the plot
Yeah.
is so original.
It
It's a great movie. Another great
I
choice.
I also wanna say this is a movie ending, the ending in this movie is one that I think about all the time and love because
Yeah,
there are so many bad movie endings or kinda meh movie endings, even in great movies. But
yeah.
this ending, it really felt like it was supposed to happen, like it was the point.
Fantastic choice.
Thank
Right
you.
there with you.
Awesome.
It's a great movie. It's by any metric excellent. And mine was 28 Days Later. So there's a sequel coming up, the third
Oh, really?
installment. They did 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and then there's 28 Years Later is coming out.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so that was directed by Danny Boyle with Cillian Murphy. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Killian.
Cillian? Killian, sorry, Cillian Killian. Is it Cillian like a single cell? Oh no, that's the hair on the
Celia.
cilia. Yeah. So
Celia.
Cillian
Yeah.
Murphy or Killian Murphy, whatever. It came out in 2000. It is a zombie movie. I'll come right out and tell you. It changed zombie movies from there on forward and invented like a new kind of zombie. And it's a great story. It also has Brendan Gleeson in it, who is he played the dad.
He's Mad Eye Moody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I love him.
yeah, yeah. He does. He's an incredible job. One of my favorite actors. He does a great job in that movie.
Just for the
Great.
record, I don't only
Yeah,
know him from Harry Potter.
yeah. He was in Gangs of New York. He was in Mr. Mercedes, which is a Stephen King
Yeah,
series.
Banshees of Inisherin, which is,
Yes,
I really
great
love that
movie.
movie.
Yeah, but yeah, I love Brendan Gleeson. So he has a pretty sizable role in this. But yeah, so fantastic movie, fantastic zombie movie, good story, good plot, good characters, well shot. Like it wasn't shot in like high def or anything like that, and it's kind of like very filmy looking, but it really adds to the atmosphere of the movie. So fantastic horror zombie movie. Highly recommend seeing it.
I think that's
Um,
a great pick. And I just wanted to say I love your point about the movie being shot in slightly lower quality. But we were talking about movies and how, digital versus film formats, how that looks. And I was talking to Bubba about how my roommate can't tell when a movie is shot in film or digital, whereas I can, and it's really, really noticeable for me. But I think you saying that the kind of lower quality adds to the atmosphere is a really great point because most movies now are shot in such high quality that there's so much detail and it's so crisp and clean and clear. It almost takes you out of it because it's no longer seeing the way like a human would see, it's seeing very digitally, which I think creates this kind of disconnect. So I really love that point about how it adds, even the thing you use to film is important.
So important, and that's really well put.
Oh, thank you.
That kind of came to me. I was watching. There's a movie called Angel Heart,
Oh,
and Angel Heart is a great movie, and that's 100% going to be a deep dive movie for us. It's starring Mickey Rourke before he became the Mickey Rourke we know now, and it's kind of a film noir slash horror kind of
I'd say
suspense,
supernatural. Yes,
supernatural.
suspense.
Yeah,
It's not quite a horror movie.
yeah, it's kind of hard boiled detective. I don't want to get too deep into it right now, but so I was when I watched the movie originally, I watched it in the theaters when it came out, and I had been watching it on video and DVD and all this, all these years since it came out. It's a fairly old movie, and then I finally watched it again, and I watched it in high def, and it didn't have the same feel to me, and I was like, because Isabella hadn't seen the movie yet, and I said you have to see it, but we cannot watch it in high def. You have to watch it in lower resolution. You have to, even in 1080 or whatever, but it can't be HD. It can't be 4K or high res.
Just so
It
everyone
really,
knows just so everyone knows, this man almost immediately refuses to watch something if it's in 1080.
I
He's such a quality snob.
yeah, I like stuff to be, clean, and I like it actually to be shown in the way that the directors wanted you to see it.
That
So,
no, and I mean, I think
yeah,
you being a stickler about that, I think almost shows how much you really just care about the vision of the film because you don't wanna see it in a way that it's not gonna come across the way it was intended to. You wanna see it how it was
yeah,
supposed to be seen. So I
yeah.
that's honestly something I respect about you.
I think films, and very often when you see them, just a regular transfer or just a film used to be shown, there's 35 millimeter projected or whatever it is, it does add a little bit of fuzziness or the lack of clarity. It sort of helps keep you in the imagination mode, right? Where you're not seeing all the details. You're not seeing every freckle or every, loose strand of beard or whatever it is. Like it kind of helps you stay in that fuzzy kind of fantasy mode. And I think that's really important for a lot of movies. So anyway, that's one thing I really liked about 28 Days Later. It keeps you in that fantasy disconnected sort of mood. So highly recommend 28 Days Later.
Yes, great pick on your part.
Thank you. And then so your next one,
My next one, so this is my 2nd.
your
Yeah.
so it'd be five, no, 5, 4, 3, 2, second. Yeah.
You just like to argue with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, th we
I agree with you on almost everything.
you have to find something.
Find something, even if it's how you say the number.
Some guy's last name.
Yeah, Levine, Levine, tomato, tomato,
Levine,
whatever.
whatever.
Levine.
Uh,
All right.
but
So
anyway,
number
my
do
The We have done a deep dive on this movie, so definitely check that out after you watch the movie, of course. My number 2 is Psycho. This movie was made by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Anthony Perkins. It came out in 1960. Beyond just being a great movie, this movie has so much history and legacy. It is one of the most important movies in cinematic history, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like Citizen Kane where it sucks and everyone talks about it. This movie is actually fantastic. We may have just lost followers for that, but
We
it's
just
fine.
lost followers. That's okay. Oh, thanks. Oh my.
Bubba doesn't like Citizen Kane either, so
No, I don't. I understand it. I appreciate it for what it is, but it's really not
absolutely.
a great movie to watch, like, honestly.
Yeah,
So
they're
we can
with
have a
you.
we'll have a discussion about that at some point. I'm just not gonna write Citizen Kane off as a bad movie. It's just not a
I I think
fun movie
it's
to watch. It's not an entertaining movie.
I think story-wise, it's a bad movie.
We'll do a whole 'nother episode on that, I
About
think.
why
Yes, we'll talk about it later.
okay. Anyway, anyway, Psycho. Uh,
Psycho.
so a brief premise, some girl works as a secretary, she steals a bunch of money, she ends up in this kinda shady hotel, and yeah, I don't
The
know what to
hotel
say.
owner is not the nicest guy.
He's a taxidermist.
He's just a taxer. Yeah, loves his mother. So, but watch Psycho for you're watching Psycho for a great action performance by Anthony Perkins. You're watching it for Hitchcock and his incredible directing style, the photography, and watch it for Mother's Day.
Oh my god.
So, but excellent, excellent choice. And if you look up here, one of these places, I'm going to put a link to our deep dive, and we'll talk a lot more about Psycho. So if you've already seen it, yeah. So don't watch any of our deep dives unless you've seen a movie, as it's all spoilers. We talk about the movie in depth, you name it. So again, just another warning. So
Exactly.
yeah, Psycho, great movie. We've talked about it at length. Again, watch it. Go watch the deep dive.
Yes.
What was my number two? Oh, you're gonna love this one. Like Rosemary's Baby.
It's so good, so
It
good.
is that movie is terrifying to this day. I mean, obviously, it's visually dated. It was made in 1968, as I am dated because I'm from the same year. But it was
That explains so
directed.
much.
I know, right? I might have been Rosemary's Baby. It was directed by Roman Polanski, a very an excellent director, very controversial figure, but this was a incredibly well-made movie. Really, I put it up there as one of like I think it deserves to be in the top 5 of horror movies, period.
Agree,
Um,
I don't
Not that it's ranked in this, but I think it's one of the best horror movies ever made.
I agree. I was looking at a bunch of IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes lists before this just to kinda see what people are talking about. It was after we had
Yeah,
made the list. And Rosemary's Baby, it's usually on there, it's like the top 100, but that's about it. I think
yeah,
it's one of the best horror movies ever made.
yeah,
Fantastic. I'm wondering if a lot of people are turned off by it because of Roman Polanski, which I, in many ways, understand.
I get that.
But I feel in media, movies, music, art, any kind of thing, there are so many bad people who make amazing things, and drawing that line is really difficult. So,
Yeah, I agree. We are planning in the future to have a discussion about that kind of thing and do a video on that as well. But yeah, Roman Polanski directed it, starring Mia Farrow and John Cassavetes.
who was
Mia
in
Farrow. No, was he in a Columbo?
Yes, he was in A Tude in Black.
That's awesome.
I'm
I
so
love that you
sorry.
come back with the Columbo references. Well, I love that. That's so great. But Mia Farrow was she was married to Woody Allen.
Oh my god.
I know, and they adopted a kid, a bunch of kids, and one of the kids he is now married to.
Yep.
I don't know. Go down the rabbit hole with that one on your own.
I think that's gonna be a great video if we can talk about controversial directors.
I would love
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, this movie plays into like so many like real feelings that people have in real life, and when all of your worst thoughts come true, and then some. But there's been remakes of it. There have been horrible sequels.
Oh, did you give a premise?
uh, no. So do you want me to do it, or you want to do it?
No, I think you should do a premise.
Okay. So there's a couple. They're expecting a baby. They move into a new apartment, and the relationship between them and their neighbors and her feelings as being an expecting mom and all kinds of weird stuff happening. But it's definitely in the horror genre.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So well shot. So I can't even, again, this is one I'm almost instantly compelled to really start talking about. So I'm going to cut myself off. Please go see Rosemary's Baby. It is a film classic. And again, this crosses from not just from horror, but just to a great, well-made movie. So well done.
Just to give you guys a more, I guess, solidified idea of this movie, it's about family dynamics and in a very similar way that The Shining is about family dynamics. It's same
Yeah,
vein.
there's a lot of crossover in,
Mhm.
in some of those feelings. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well put.
Thank you. Great
So
pick. I'm mad you got it.
thank you.
This last one is actually on both of our lists. We decided we could have one that was the same, and it was
Yes.
only this last one is The Exorcist. It was directed by William
William
Friedkin.
Friedkin. Yes. Well pronounced.
Could you see me, like, processing how to
Yes, I
say
did.
that?
Yeah. Oh,
So, it stars Jason Miller, Max von
Cedo.
Sydow, okay, and
Yep.
Linda Blair.
Yes.
It's called The Exorcist, it's about an exorcism,
Yep.
but it is really well done.
So well done.
It is kinda subversive in many ways as far as the religious and supernatural aspects. It brings in a lot of realism. I don't know
Yeah.
if that does that make sense?
It yeah, the movie plays it as if it was real. It doesn't assume naturally that there's supernatural powers at work. It plays those powers into maybe what you would be actually experiencing if something like this were happening in your real world, and not just expecting it to happen, and not just taking for granted that, oh, of course supernatural stuff happens all the time. It plays it out as if you're just getting hit with this. I have no idea what's going on here. Why is all this happening?
The supernatural element is not a device just to further the plot. It's really about the people going through it and what they go through,
Yeah,
rather than
absolutely.
it's not just an explainer, like a throwaway explainer. It's
Yeah, just say, oh, okay, because it's supernatural, and just throw that on there. It's not like a multiverse, which is just an equal answer to everything. Like,
exactly. There's
yeah,
real repercussions, real trauma. It's believable
yeah,
in that way. You just suspend disbelief in this movie because all of the characters are
so believable.
so believable and they are all in such disbelief of what is happening.
Yeah,
I mean, the acting in this is fantastic.
so good,
Yep.
so good. There's been I don't know how many Exorcist movies after it,
So many.
Nothing compares to it. Period. Like nothing compares. Son Sido is fantastic in it. He played, I don't know, I think he was like 30s or 40s, and they made him
Wow.
look legitimately old. And just all of the actors, everything. It's so well done. That movie still gives me the creeps. Like
Oh, it freaks me
it
out.
still freaks me out. I still get goosebumps watching it.
I think all of
Yeah,
the movies on this list, maybe not all of them, but most of them still do really scare me.
yeah. I would say I'm less scared of like American Werewolf in London,
I was gonna say that
and
Dracula,
I don't get scared of Dracula. I love watching it though.
it's
Yeah,
such
but as
it's
far as actually, it doesn't for me.
oh,
Rosemary Baby still creeps me out. 28 Days Later, Psycho
si
still
Psych
makes me think. Get Out,
Midsummer, Silence of the Lambs, Get
Silence of
Out,
the Lambs.
that they all really freak me out.
Absolutely. The Exorcist is just a definite must see. I don't even want to say any more about it.
I don't think you should.
Like, yeah, it's just so good. And then our honorable mention, and we had like this had to be on the list, but we don't want it to be on every list because it might as well be.
This is the Eyes on Film. Honorable mention, honoring the best that we didn't feel like including for whatever reason.
The Shining.
This is our honorable mention or most honorable mention or whatever.
This For us, this movie is the bar.
Yeah,
It's my favorite horror movie, full stop,
yeah, yeah,
but we already did a deep dive on it,
yeah,
and we didn't want it to be the focus of this video because we're trying to introduce you guys to movies that you may not have seen or may not have thought about that much,
yeah,
and The Shining is so well known and so praised, deservedly so, but we really wanted to give you guys some interesting and not new in the sense that they're brand new, but new in the sense that you just might not have heard of them before or
yeah.
before.
Stuff that's valuable to watch again as a cinephile or film buff or whatever. We're trying to really give you the cream of the crop. Some of the best stuff that you may or may not have heard of. So,
Yeah.
but The Shining is like, no matter what, a must see, period. So,
Go watch
and
it. Don't be a dummy.
it's number one, and don't be a dummy. And it's one of the best movies of multiple genre.
So that's
Yeah,
it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this list. Video is a little longer than the other ones, but I think we had a lot to talk about as far as horror. We love horror as a genre, so we wanted to get a little bit into why we like these movies without giving you too
yeah.
much of the
And we had more movies in this because we only doubled up on one, and then our
That's
honorable
true.
mention was a shared movie.
That is true. We did good.
Yes,
High
yes.
five.
So, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you coming here, talking with us, listening to us jibber jabber, and we want this to be a fun place to come, talk, listen, whatever. It's dark outside. We always like to say it's light in here. Just come in and take your thinking cap off or whatever, and just kind of zone out with us going on and on about stupid stuff. So anyway, thanks very much again for watching. We appreciate everything. Please like, subscribe, whatever you do. We appreciate it. Do all the things.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next
Thank
video.
you. Bye.